listening to the Jca Sports Podcast on Spotify and Anchor.
Yeah, can y'all hear me? Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Mic check. What's going on, everybody? Welcome for another episode of the Jca Sports Podcast here, along with Jose Contreras. I am Eric Avila. Another great episode, and man, honestly, there's nothing to talk about other than what we're representing right now on our hat, on our chest. I don't know about you. I think you probably have the Chargers jersey right now, Jose, knowing you, or probably even the Packers jersey. The fan that you are. But we are back, and this is all we're going to talk about.
Bro, what are you talking about, bro? You see the Mortal Kombat shirt, man.
I was looking at you, man. Yeah. But there is nothing else to talk about other than preparing ourselves for week 1 of the NFL season pretty much starting tomorrow, right? But our beloved Chicago Bears don't start until Sunday. But welcome to the show, Jose. What's up, man? Football is back, bro.
Football is back, Eric. The Bears are back, and what an exciting matchup. Week 1 against our rivals, the hated Green Bay Packers. Sunday, we get to find out. Well, I know it's only week 1, so you're not really finding out much, but you at least get to find out what these two teams have been doing and what can be, I guess, the future of both franchises.
Oh, definitely 100%, Jose. You're absolutely right. And honestly, there's a lot to dissect too right now about these guys, or about both of these teams, right? There's a lot of question marks on both teams, coming, from beginning of off season till now, for the beginning of the season for sure. And the fact of the matter is, Jose, that the question is really out there. Like, where's your confidence level of Justin Fields? Obviously, up there. This is the third-year jump that everybody's expecting Justin Fields to have. And not only on top of that, but, can he take the Chicago Bears to the next level, right? Obviously, the national market, the national media, everybody's out there is giving so much love and praise to Justin Fields because of what they saw last season and how he ended the last season for our beloved Chicago Bears. But also, Jose, at the same time, Justin Fields still has a lot to prove to put himself in that stratosphere. The national media can say whatever you want. But here locally, and us as Bears fans, we know that MVP caliber, what the national media is saying, that's probably a little bit too much, a little bit too far-fetched. But we know that we need to see Justin Fields take the next step, not just as a runner, but as a passer. So my question to you, Jose, is, and to everybody out there watching and listening to us here on the Jca Sports Podcast, is how confident are you really into Justin Fields to perform this season? Is there pressure on Justin Fields to perform this season?
Well, yeah, there's pressure on Justin Fields. There's pressure on Ryan Pace. There's pressure on Ryan Poles, and on Matt Eberflus. There's pressure on a whole lot of people on this team. Quite frankly, there's pressure on Jordan. Oh my God, why am I bringing up old players? There's pressure on Khalil Herbert. There's pressure on DJ Moore. But yeah, Justin Fields more so because of what they have invested in him. That he is supposed to be the franchise of the Chicago Bears, a franchise that hasn't had a quarterback, a legit quarterback in the entire history. Even when they won the Super Bowl in 1985, they didn't have a legit quarterback. So he's supposed to be the guy, the first ever. Of course, there's a lot of pressure there. There's too many fans out here in Chicago, expecting this guy to do great things, not only with his legs, but with his arm. Can he do it? That's the biggest question, Eric. And, do I think he can? Absolutely. We've seen glimpses of it last season. We've seen a lot of it in college when he played for Ohio State. It just has to translate into the NFL level. With that being said, it's not just a one-man band. Justin Fields' success is going to propel the team to what can be a playoff run and maybe even deeper than that this season. But it doesn't just fall on him. The defense has to play well. His wide receivers have to get open. His offensive line have to block for him. The running game has to get going, not just him, but with these other running backs that they have, Roshan Johnson, Khalil Herbert, Devontae Foreman, you name it. The playmaking has to be great. The coaching has to be great. There's so much that needs to get that has to improve for the Chicago Bears this season. Yes, the pressure is on Justin Fields, but as I alluded to earlier, it shouldn't be. There's so many guys on this team that should be also taking a leap forward, DJ Moore included.
No, yeah, 100%. And obviously now this year, what Ryan Poles did to, I guess, upgrade the Chicago Bears and upgrade that defense as an entirety, giving Justin Fields that number one running wide receiver. Obviously beefing up that offensive line too as well. Drafting Darnell Wright as his right tackle. Jose, honestly, it's just one of those situations to where you can you got to see this and say, hey, can Justin really take us to this next level? Because we know what he could do as a runner. We saw it last year. He almost broke the record. Obviously, it's the rushing for the Bears record. He obviously obliterated. But around the league, around the national audience, they feel like he could take the next step. And I think there is pressure. I think there is more pressure on Justin Fields to perform because let's be completely honest. As much as we're optimistic and as much as we're hyped over Justin Fields and as much as we're excited about Justin Fields, Jose, this is not Ryan Poles' guy, man. And Ryan Poles did not draft this guy. So he's literally from the old regime as well. So they're not married to Justin Fields. They're not that's not their guy. And obviously over the weekend, week 1 of college football, Ryan Poles was seen in multiple college football games just to see these quarterbacks that are potentially first round, second round material. And remember, the Bears have 2 number 1 picks. Justin doesn't perform. Who could say that Justin Fields could last being a Chicago Bears quarterback for the near future? Because Ryan Poles can actually pick his guy.
Right. No, if Fields, look, there was a lot of excuses, and rightfully so, last season for Justin Fields. He didn't have an offensive line that was blocking enough. He didn't have weapons around him that can get open. Darnell Mooney and Chase Claypool just wasn't doing it. He doesn't have a true number 1 wide receiver. He's more of a running back, right? But it's because he can't throw. There's so many excuses for this guy last season, and the team wasn't good enough all around. Ryan Poles literally had everything he needed to not turn this completely, but to at least help this team get a lot better. With the number 1 draft pick, we've seen what he flipped that, got DJ Moore, a true number 1 wide receiver for Justin Fields.
Yep.
The number 1 is his first pick in this draft was a guard, somebody who's going to come in tackle. I'm sorry, right? It's a tackle, an offensive lineman. How about that? Somebody who's going to come in, protect Justin Fields, and he literally filled gaps and holes in the defensive end and on the offensive end. So the excuses should start dwindling down. So yes, it is on Justin Fields on what he can do and what he's able to do. But I agree with you, Eric. If this season doesn't pan out the way we want it to for him, then yeah, I give him 1 more season before he's gone completely.
And what is that season for you, Jose? Is it underperforming as a team overall? The Bears only win, let's just say 5 games, or let's just say they go back to 3 wins, right? Obviously, if it's 3 wins, right? Let's say what is that caliber? 4 to 5 wins with 2,000 passing yards, 900 rushing yards, but like the touchdown interception ratio is like 1-to-1, right? Let's just say he throws 1 more touchdown than interceptions. Like, what would make you deem a bad year for Justin Fields in order for Ryan Poles to make that decision?
All right. I'm not counting wins and losses on Justin Fields. Mm-hmm. Look at the Detroit Lions last year or the year before that, right? The Bears can lose and still be very competitive. Justin Fields can play well and still be very competitive and they can still lose the game, right? Justin Fields can play well. The offense could be looking great. But then when it comes to defense side of the ball, they can be bad and they can still lose the game. Look at last year. How competitive were the Bears in a lot of those games last year?
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, you can say that. Yeah.
Well, I'm not counting wins and losses on Justin Fields unless he's contributing to those wins and losses, like 3 interceptions, 4 interceptions. He's turning the ball over. He's overthrowing guys. Think of Mitchell Trubisky. If he's playing anything like that, and that's what's contributing to losses, like the defense is keeping them in games. The wide receivers around him are actually getting open, but he's overthrowing or he's throwing it to the wrong person or intercepting or he's getting intercepted. That is when it's starting to look okay. Maybe this guy isn't it. So I'm not going to contribute wins and losses unless he's the key factor to that. But like I said, man, if he's turning the ball over, if he's not making the reads, if he's getting sacked because he's not making the right reads, or if he's throwing interceptions because he's just overthrowing guys, or whatever the case is, that's when we start to look at okay, something is not right. He's probably not the quarterback. But yeah, that's basically it for me, man. It has to look bad. It has to look Mitchell Trubisky bad. It has to look.
That's real bad.
Yeah, I mean, why
At
else?
least to my standards, that's bad.
I mean, I'm just saying, why? What else is there? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, if the team around him is failing him, it's not his fault. Right? Look at Jay Cutler. Look at all those years of Jay Cutler, who did an offensive lineman, who had toxic players around him. But I mean, look at that. But look at Mitchell Trubisky, who had pieces around him, but he just couldn't perform. That's what I'm talking about. Justin Fields seems like he has pieces around him this year, but if he can't perform just himself, then yeah, man, that's bad.
How does 3,500 passing yards
Sounds good.
with 24 touchdowns and 14 interceptions?
That's good. I see nothing wrong with that.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's Derek Carr's numbers from last season, and he was the 14th ranked quarterback beyond it. So
okay, well, well, look, hold on. In my defense, when's the last time a Bears quarterback had those type of numbers other than Jay Cutler?
Jay Cutler,
right? And a lot of us like Jay Cutler, right? A lot of us like Jay Cutler.
I mean, especially our boy Johnny, who couldn't be with us right now or with us today. That's his guy. Cuddy's his buddy, right? That's how he always says it.
Well, so, if we think about it, Jay Cutler would probably have 10 more interceptions. He was always right there, hand in hand with the touchdown interception ratio. They were always near each other. Oh damn, dude! If he had those type of numbers, that'd be tough. I mean, look, it's a step up. Look, we want progress from Justin Fields. Is that not progress from last season? 24 touchdowns, 3,500 yards passing, not running, passing. That's something to now. If he was doing that 3 years from now, it's an issue, right? Derek Carr's had all the time in the world to get better. They gave him a number 1 wide receiver to hit, so that those stats are kind of bad for him because he should have done a little bit better. But for Justin Fields, who hasn't done that yet, you know what I mean? And in a first year, I guess offense, because there's been a lot of new players, that might not be so bad for us. Because it's progress from last year, and it's something to build off of for next year, if that makes sense.
No, I mean, I hear you 100%, dude, and you're absolutely right. It is progress. It is it's numbers that you say we never seen since Jay Cuddy, right? We haven't seen in a very long time. But I mean, if that's average for us, for all of us, for me, you and I, and Justin Fields has those numbers, I mean, is it even good enough to keep him in the conversation for the Bears to keep him till next season?
Yeah, it's progress.
You think so? That's progress?
It's progress. It's just it's tough because people want 4,000 yards and this and that. I mean, what did Jared Goff have last year for the Lions?
I'll tell you right now, and I think that's going to be a little bit too much because Jared Goff actually threw for 4,438 yards with 29 touchdowns and only 7 interceptions.
It's great. He had a great season. But the only reason why I bring up Jared Goff was because, he's newer to this. He's newer to this Lions team. The last year was his second year there. With a legit number 1 wide receiver and Amon-Ra, he had some good running backs. I feel like Justin Fields kind of has that similar he has the similar team around him right now. This offense should be great. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The only reason why I bring Jared Goff is because I feel like the Bears should be the Lions from last year. You know,
Ooh, that's tough, man.
a team that started off pretty bad, that are
Yep.
competitive, and then just made their run. I feel like the Bears can be like that.
I mean, it's going to be tough because we see the decent offensive weapons that the Lions have, right? Obviously, that running game is also pretty good as well. As Ryan, they upgraded with David Montgomery, right? DeAndre Swift is still back there, um, as the running backs for the Detroit Lions. But also remind you that defense is also a game changer too, as well, Jose. And the Lions can get to your quarterback. That's something that the Bears. Another thing that the
Eric,
Bears don't have.
look at the stats. The Lions had a way worse defense than the Bears did last season. Man.
I got that, but they still got to the quarterback way more than the Chicago Bears did, and that's also
That's why.
well, again, that's where I was going to. The Bears don't have that guy to go and get their quarterback. Now we got Ngakwe over the offseason, which is obviously already an upgrade on top of that, right? The defense has been an upgrade and a half from what they were last year. But again, if we're still going to have the same problems where the Bears were the worst sack team in all of football last year, giving up more sacks than getting sacks, I think that's also going to be a question mark for all of us too, as well, saying that where does this team going to be at? Look, we should all be excited about Week 1. We should all be excited about the Bears Packers. Hell, we're always excited. I forgot to take out the comment. Thank you. We should all be excited for the Bears Packers, but there's still a lot of question marks for our Chicago Bears team to have us a little bit more worried about the upcoming game, to where maybe hell, even on the Green Bay side of ball. But we're sticking to Chicago, bro. The Bears has a lot more questions. They were just a 3-win team last year, Jose. And although they got the upgrade from the offensive side, they also got an upgrade on the defensive side. We still don't know how this team is going to perform because we're coming off a 3-win season last year with the number 1 overall pick.
Right. Yeah, I understand that. But there's, regardless of the fact, there should be progression, right? There's only one way to go but up from last season. I mean, you were literally record wise, you were the worst team in the entire NFL, and yet it didn't seem as bad, I guess, because you saw progress from Justin Fields, you saw what he can do with his legs, and you just knew going into the season was going to be different because we knew last season that they were going to have all this cap space and all these draft picks, and it came into fruition. And now this season is a lot more exciting because there should be progression for sure. And I want to see it. And I get it. I get last season sucked and last season was bad, but at the same time, man, I think the Bears are going to be a better team. They're going to be a better team. It's just what type of team are we going to see? Luckily for them, they are in the NFC, a conference where you could make the playoffs easily. I want to say,
true.
Okay, maybe not so easily, but a lot easier than it is in the AFC. You could be second or third in your division in the NFC and still make the playoffs. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you have that third wild card spot, so it's like it's definitely doable.
Oh, you're absolutely right. Rick, what's up, Rick? Hope you're doing well, man. Can't wait to see you soon on Big League Chicago, which it's making its reappearance again Monday after the Bears game. So make sure you guys join us on Monday for Big League Chicago. Rick will be on here. Us two will be on here. Jack and John too as well. But his biggest question mark for the Bears are the front seven. Secondary is solid as F. But the progression on the offense will show Week 1 guaranteed.
Solid as fuck. Come on, Eric. You need to
I mean, hey, look. I got a professional to stand up there too. You know what I mean? But I get it. Solid as fuck for sure. And yeah, you're right. You know that if there's everything that we've heard a lot about this offseason, it was that the secondary for the Chicago Bears is as legit as it gets. Right? Jaquan Brisker was hurt throughout most of the offseason, but he was in padded practice today, so that's a big upgrade for the defense in the secondary. Everything that they were talking about the Chicago Bears is that secondary is legit. And a lot of people are viewing it, even locally, Jose. A lot of people are viewing the secondary as a big point for this team and could possibly be a top 5, definitely a top 10 secondary in the whole entire NFL. Do you feel the same way too?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know, man. I'm just honestly, I'm tired of. I'm ready. I'm just ready to see exactly what the Bears are going to be. I'm tired of predicting. I get it. Projections are great. I mean, I was just talking about what we think Justin Fields is going to do. But if I'm being honest, man, if there's a side of the ball that I'm not too confident in coming into the season, it's the defense. And I get we filled in a lot of gaps on defense, but something still tells me it's going to be a struggle on defensively for the Bears. I don't know what it is.
100%.
And I think you mentioned earlier we still don't know if they could really get to the quarterback or not. So I do think the defense is going to struggle. I think that's going to be the weaker side of the Bears for once, and it's always the opposite direction. But I don't know, man. It's going to be tough for sure. But finally, Johnny Parlay in the comments. Johnny Palayo, my boy, Johnny P, bear down, baby. And speaking of Johnny Parlay, Bears money line plus Fields rushing touchdown. I think that's a given. That's a lock.
Yeah.
Let's do it. I'm down, John. That's a good bet. Take Jordan Love under passing yards. You know what, Eric? I think this is a good transition to get to the Packers and Jordan Love.
100%.
Because John saying take it under on the passing yards. I'm not confident in that, man. I'm giving this kid. Look, I'm giving this kid all the benefit in the world. Look, if there's anything the Green Bay Packers know what or how to do, it's developing a quarterback. They've done it twice already with Brett Favre, with Aaron Rodgers. Jordan Love sat behind one of the greatest quarterbacks of our lifetime. Whether we want to admit it or not, Aaron Rodgers was that guy for a very long time. Won Super Bowl, yes, but he terrorized this division. He terrorized the Bears. He was one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, still is. And Jordan Love sat behind him. You don't sit behind a quarterback like that and not learn anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I do think Jordan Love is going to be a good quarterback. It's just, is he a franchise quarterback? So we're going to find out, right? John said he's not that guy. I want to believe it, John, but I got to see it first, man. My eyes got to see it. You know what I mean? I got to see it.
I mean, there's a lot of reports coming out of Green Bay, Jose, that Jordan Love is actually looking the part.
Yeah.
And that's scary to hear, and that's scary to read. And that obviously that's people that's there every single day and seeing this guy progress every single day. And, man, that would suck so much that the fucking Green Bay Packers once again got it right with their quarterback from Favre to Rodgers to Jordan Love if he ends up being that guy. Now, remember, look, everybody's going to say that, it wasn't a walk in the park Aaron Rodgers' first season after Brett Favre left the Green Bay Packers when he retired, right? Supposedly, quote unquote, he retired. But at the same time, it's also a different transition. I think if reports were right that they booed Aaron Rodgers when Brett Favre retired because Favre actually came back. But this time it's different. Everybody's been praising Jordan Love. Everybody's been giving this kid the opportunity to succeed in this team. Everybody is seeing that Jordan Love is being that guy.
Yeah, there's a reason for that, though. It's because Aaron Rodgers kind of wore his welcome there in Green Bay. Everybody was ready to get rid of him over there.
Aaron Rodgers is a different guy.
Right, that's the difference. That's why they love Jordan Love.
But no, for sure, no. But not only that, bro. If the reports are saying what they're saying, man, and he's being that guy, bro. I mean, it's going to suck so bad. Now, maybe he's not going to be that successful right away, right? Because Aaron Rodgers went 6-10 his first season as a Green Bay Packers starting quarterback. But man, if he shows flashes, and with this defense, obviously the front seven has been improved. But if we're still seeing some glimpse of this defense not getting to the quarterback, and we're gonna give Aaron Rodgers here, I gotta get used to saying Jordan Love instead of Aaron Rodgers. But if we're getting Jordan Love that opportunity, man, he might torch this defense, and he might give that opportunity where we might even look like if it's the same team from last year and still waiting to get that win that we've been on this losing streak for so long. Who's more likely to get a touchdown? Aaron Jones. The Bears still haven't. We still haven't seen the Bears rushing defense. And the Bears were one of the worst rushing defense last year, too, as well.
They were getting torched, especially by Aaron Jones and the Packers.
And it's crazy to say, like, as much as we want to get excited, and we want to be optimistic, right? But we also have to be realistic at the same time and see that.
I don't know, John.
We won't see this defense torch until Patty Mahomes comes week 3.
I don't know, John. Look, I because of work, I had to see and experience every single Bears game, every single minute of every single down. Like I couldn't just turn the TV off. I was working for the radio team. I had to be there. I had to watch it. So I've seen every single. I'm telling you, this defense last year was abysmal. It was bad, especially the rushing defense. That's why I'm not too confident. I'm not too sure that the defense is just gonna be better. After one offseason. Yeah, we filled in a lot of holes, but I'm still very suspect in this defense, and that's why I feel like Jordan Love could look really good week one. And to answer John's question, I agree. I think Aaron Jones or I think Patrick Mahomes will torch the Bears, but I also think Aaron Jones will too, man. Or he has the chance.
He has the potential.
He has potential, and the Bears are going to feed more. They have to. They have to, otherwise they have no chance. But they have to feed more. And then the good thing about DJ Moore is that you don't have to throw 100 yards to him for him to catch a touchdown. You could just throw like we've seen in preseason. You could throw 5-10 yards, and the man will do his thing. Is that the recipe for success? No, but it's definitely a weapon for sure.
Right, and then also Jose, even on top of that, right? What offense are we really going to see? Are we really going to see the last time the offense that we saw against the Bills that played multiple series and struggled to get the ball downfield, or are we going to get that same offense that we got excited? For seeing those 2 screen passes or the check down and the screen pass for DJ Moore and Khalil Herbert and them taking off, right? As if we like to call it the recency bias, right? We've seen this Bears offense struggle against a top defense, right? And that's the Buffalo Bills. And that's what we're getting. And there's been a lot of reports out there, even during the offseason, that the offense had a lot more bad days than they had good days. And I don't know if that says anything. I don't know if that means anything to you, but the people that are out there reading, seeing, and watching the Bears practice day in and day out have been saying that the Bears offense haven't looked that well at all throughout the whole entire offseason. And the last time we saw this Bears offense on an actual football field, the offense did not look that great. And Justin Fields took a lot of big hits, man. And it's worrisome once again because it's more questions that we have for the Chicago Bears than the answers I already say. John goes to say we're going to see Fields 200 passing yards, 115 rushing yards, 2 passing touchdowns, and 1 rushing TD.
Nope.
I mean, that's the optimistic that we hope to see, right? That's the optimistic that we hope to see, and that's one thing that we wish to see. But from what we saw from the Bills defense, man, it's more looking like we're going to see the struggling offense than we're going to see a flash line of what we see.
Even if we do see that, Eric, even if what John's stats right there do come to fruition week one, it's only week one. Remember last year, week one, we defeated the 49ers a year removed from them being in the NFC Championship game, and we're like, oh my God, blah blah blah. We were singing praises and this and that, and there was hardly any penalties and how disciplined this team is and yada yada yada. And look what ended up happening. We ended up having the worst record,
yeah.
And the first overall pick by the end of the season. We could torch the Packers. I mean, think about remember in 2018, the year we went to the playoffs and we double doink and all that. Remember that year? Week one was also against the Packers. And we lost to the Packers, so it can go either way. It can go either way. So we can look good week one like last year and then have a bad season, or we can lose week one against the Packers and have a good season like they did in 2018. Either way, it's week one. Let's relax. Let's watch it. Let's enjoy it. Let's let's praise Fields and the team for what they do, but at the same time, we got to see it consistently throughout the season, or we're gonna get our hearts broken again, like we always do.
Yeah, right. And I think this one is going to be even. This one's even gonna be even worse, man. Like I honestly feel like if we don't get a good performance out of the Bears offense and Justin Fields, I think there's gonna be a lot more question marks about the Bears. Is Justin Fields the answer at quarterback for years to come, right? And he has to come out strong. I mean, I get it. first game, first series, if you look kind of wonky, kind of shaky, okay, great. You're shaking off the rust, right? You didn't have a long preseason. You didn't have a decent enough preseason to have that amount of games for you to have to be ready for the games. Oh man, Jose, like if it's the first quarter, the second third, the third quarter, and the Bears are still struggling on offense, man, it's going to be a very tough conversation, even if it's week one, because Jose, you may say it's week one, but Jose, this game feels like it's a must win for the Chicago Bears in week one because there's no more Aaron Rodgers. The guy that owned us is gone, right? It's now Jordan Love. You don't know what kind of Packers team is coming to Chicago, so you must take an advantage of beating the Green Bay Packers and Jordan Love in Soldier Field. If not, then question marks are really going to be asked if Justin Fields is ready to succeed.
And this exact same thing on the other side, Eric. The pressure is also on the Packers because again,
No, I honestly
hold on.
Wait.
For the exact same reasons you just said. There's no more Aaron Rodgers, so now you have Jordan Love. You look this just like the Bears for the Packers. This is a make or break season for this young quarterback. Reason being,
I don't think so.
Hold on. The reason being is because if one bad season with this guy, then everyone's gonna be like, get him out of here. He's not it. Blah blah blah. This is not a good season. This is not a good quarterback. There's already doubts, just like there is with Justin Fields. There's doubts about this guy too because he has had a chance to start once or twice these last couple of seasons, and they were both really bad. And when you go from one great Hall of Fame quarterback to another quarterback, that quarterback has to be at least decent for your fan base not to turn on you. And this is the Packers, who don't know how to lose, who don't know what a losing season looks like other than last season. But who doesn't know what a bad quarterback looks like? Their entire half of the fans, their whole lifetime hasn't had a bad quarterback. There's gonna be a lot of pressure on that side as well. Why? Because the Lions look better, the Bears look better, the Vikings are always in it, and the Packers are supposed to be the best team in the division, like they have been the entire, I don't know, past 30 years. I mean, all I'm saying is that there's just as much pressure on that side. So this game is going. Look, they did this game for a reason. Both these teams have a lot to prove. This is going to be a great game for us fans. So yeah, but I do agree with you with the Bears. I do agree that this if this doesn't work out the way it should be, man, it's going to be hell. And I do believe Ryan Poles has, luckily for Ryan Poles, he could use Justin Fields as a scapegoat if it doesesn't go well, because as you mentioned earlier, it's not his quarterback. He didn't draft him.
To the number one picks.
It's not his. Right. So he definitely has, time on his hands, but well, I guess only time will tell. Rick in the comments saying Eric might not agree, but I'm positive Ryan Poles concocted last year's offense to be shitty in situations where they could have won, all to get the number one pick. I do agree that maybe not just offensively, but also defensively, he got rid of a lot of players last season, trading away, as we saw, Roquan Smith, Robert Quinn Jr. He traded away Khalil Mack. He did do a lot of things to that team because he knew, hey, in order for this to work, I need picks and I need draft.
You need to get younger.
Picks, I need space, right? And I need youth. And he definitely concocted last season to be what it was. So, but now this is where he makes his money this year for sure. Also, go on and said pressure is more on Love than the entire Packers team. Yeah,
I don't agree with that one. I honestly don't.
I do.
I don't agree with that because the Packers gave Jordan Love a new contract, a 2-year deal, right?
Right.
For him to be comfortable enough to know that, hey, this is your team. We're going to give you this deal. We're going to give you a little bit more money. This is your team, right? At least this is your team for 2 years, right? And he has a little bit of leeway because he has to adjust to this new NFL. He's a starter. He's fresh. There's a lot of expectations, or there's not that much expectations for Jordan Love to succeed or not to succeed for the Green Bay Packers. It just depends on how it all operates. But the reason why I say that it is more pressure on Justin Fields is simply because, bro, it's already his third season. It's his second year in this offense. He hasn't really proven enough. I mean, hell, if we want to go based on record-wise, he's literally won 5 games in the NFL season. Albeit, I get it. The roster sucked around him. Yeah. The roster wasn't all that great around him. Offensive line sucked. This, and that. There's a lot more excuses for Justin Fields and for why he hasn't been that successful in the NFL. But also at the same time, now that everything's already, I guess you can say, catered to him, bringing in the number one wide receiver. Now the pressure's on the kid to perform. And if the kid doesn't perform, like I mentioned before, they have 2 first-round draft picks where they can already get his successor if he doesn't have a good season. Does the injury make a difference? Does it hurt him? Like if he gets hurt? No, right? Maybe. I don't think so, right? If he sustains a long injury, but I don't think injury will hurt him. I think performance will hurt him. And Jordan Love kind of has it a little bit more easier than Justin Fields because the pressure's on Justin Fields for him to perform this year, or else there's going to be a major decision made. In Green Bay, there's not really that much pressure for Jordan Love to succeed.
No, there's pressure.
There really isn't.
Well, hold on. Think about this. Eric, hold on, real quick.
Give this kid an opportunity.
But wait,
they need to give this kid an opportunity.
But let's read Rick's comment, and then let me piggyback on this. He says, too many people are talking about how Love sat behind Rodgers for a few years and absorb how to be a great quarterback. The pressure's on. Not only that.
No,
wait, hold on.
That one.
Here's more. If you don't agree with that one, I understand, but here's a better reason. All right. This offense is similar to the last 2 years. And let's discount last year, right? Because Aaron Rodgers had a lot of issues. But the year prior to that, let's not forget the Packers under Matt LaFleur and this offense, and this team looked very similar, went to the NFC Championship and lost to the 49ers.
Yeah.
Okay. We know Matt LaFleur is a great coach. We know his system, his offensive, his scheme, all that works. We know that. Yeah. We know this team is very talented. Christian Watson is that guy. Yep. We know the 2 running backs, and A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones are good running backs.
Yes.
We know this team can – well, their defense is better. I feel like they were better last year than ours. So we know this team can be great. It's just it all depends on who is throwing the ball. And Aaron Rodgers has always had this Packers team on point. And with his first year with Matt LaFleur, he was an MVP under Matt LaFleur.
100%.
Okay. So there's going to be pressure because of that. Hey, look.
No, there is no pressure.
Eric, if the Packers start losing games, people are going to blame Jordan Love. They're not going to blame Matt LaFleur. They're not going to blame the front office. They're not going to blame anybody around him. If the Packers start losing games, if by week 10 they only have 2 or 3 wins, Jordan Love is going to be the reason for that. He's going to be the one everybody's going to get on. Why? Because they've always had a great quarterback. They've always had that position solidified. So if this team ends up being 3 and whatever by week 10 or 12, that pressure is going to be on him because the people are going to be blaming him, whether it's the right kind of pressure or wrong, whether it's justified or not. He's going to be the scapegoat for that. So the pressure is technically on him. I feel like more than it is on Matt LaFleur or anybody else.
The difference about that, though, is that what Jordan Love has been under Matt LaFleur for the last 3-4 years that he's actually been there, he's also been learning behind Aaron Rodgers. Well, guess what? Aaron Rodgers did the same thing when what's his name was the head coach of the Green Bay Packers, learning under Brett Favre. It's literally the same offense that he's been learning for the last couple years.
It's different,
and it's a little bit more easy to get that because he understands the playbook, the players are around there, and it's more to the fact that if there's really pressure on Jordan Love, it's not the same amount of pressure as there is on Justin Fields in here because now it's a performance base for Justin Fields to see if whether or not he's going to be the quarterback for the next couple of years. And if Ryan Poles literally went on a quarterback scouting spree over the weekend in college football, that means that Justin Fields has very little amount of error, while Jordan Love, you could give him a little bit more. And be like, okay.
I agree with. I feel like Justin Fields, I feel like Justin Fields I do feel like Justin Fields is under a bigger microscope because of what you said, because this is year 3 or 4, whatever for him. I do understand that part. But I just know that if the Bears start losing games, there's going to be a lot to blame. It could be the offensive line, it could be the defense, it could be Justin Fields. We've been doing it every single year as Bears fans. But if the Packers start losing games, it's going to be solely because of Jordan Love. Let's be honest here. Now, I don't agree with Rick here. He said Eric is literally insane just when he said the Broncos are going to win the AFC West. Look, Rick, I get that you don't believe in the Broncos. I get maybe you're just really big on the Chiefs winning the division. I get it, but I don't think the Broncos winning the AFC West isn't far off. I mean, Russell Wilson, we've seen what he can be when under a good coach and under a good system when he was in Seattle. They won multiple Super Bowls. Sean Payton is a good coach. His scheme, his formation, whatever you want to call it, his system is a good system. We've seen that time and time again in New Orleans when he was a head coach for the Saints. I don't think them winning the division is that far off. I really don't. If I'm being honest, I actually have them winning the division on FanDuel.
Shut your ass up, bro. You just picked the Chargers a couple weeks ago with your money, man. Now you flip flopping.
No. That's not what I said. That's not what I said. You can run. I can run the tape for you. I said my head says the Chiefs, my heart says the Chargers, but my wallet says the Broncos. That's what I said. That's what I said.
I don't know who do you root for now, bro.
I'm not rooting for anybody. I'm just saying, okay? Anyways, what's up, CP? Our boy CP in the comments. Well. Eric, I got the comments. Well. There goes our boy CP. And then Rick says Jordan Love has more of a leash than Fields for sure, but still pressure to perform. Well, yeah, of course.
Well, I mean, I like I said, the pressure is going to be more on Justin Fields than it is on Jordan Love. Right? Like I said, the leash is with the Chargers pick. Hey, man, he has that Justin Herbert jersey, man. So it is what it is.
If Rick, who do you have winning the North? Because if you're going to say the Bears, then you can't make fun of me with having the Chargers winning the West. Okay, it's almost the same there. Okay, I think the Chargers have more of a chance winning the West than the Bears do the North. If I'm being honest, let's come on.
You're right, 100%. No, you're absolutely right, man. And it's weird to say that, dude, but we have to see this, man, because he has the Lions. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I don't. It's not a bad pick.
It's not. But I'm starting to lose that flavor of the Detroit Lions because I feel like that's that most overpicked team, and I just feel like the Lions are gonna lion. Like I don't know what else to say. The Detroit Lions are gonna Detroit Lions if that makes any sense.
But you could also say the same thing about the Bears. The Bears are gonna Bears. You know what I mean? Like, and the Packers are gonna Packers, and the Packers are gonna Packers. Right? That's why I'm saying they're gonna be different.
Different, but we are in agreement that the Minnesota Vikings are going to take a few steps back this year. I personally believe it, man. I really do.
I have the Vikings winning. I have the Vikings winning the division. So
that's a little too much. I don't know, but that's another conversation for another podcast. The Jca Sports Podcast here on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, under the Star 6 Media Production, and also the John Konaki Facebook page. Guys, if you want to follow us on all our social media platforms outside of Facebook. We have Instagram, we have TikTok, we have Twitter, YouTube, you name it. We're under it, under the Star 6 Media platform. Guys, make sure you follow us. Hit the little like on our shows every time you watch us. Hit the little bell to get notified when our shows are live. Like I said, Big League Chicago is making a comeback on Monday. We're just going to recap about the Bears game against the Packers. And a lot more.
Real quick, Eric. Real quick. This is gonna be a new season for the Star 6 Media come Monday. Next week, now that football's back, we're in season 3. Or about season 2. How about this? Season 3 in JCA, but season 2 for Star 6 Media. All right. We're gonna have a whole new look. We're gonna have a whole new shows. We're gonna be a lot more consistent. Just know now that football's back, we're back. And yeah, man. Just If you've been with us since day one, get into
100%. We appreciate it. Yeah, and John says the Packers are not going to Packers because they no longer have the Bears owner Aaron Rodgers under center. Well, I think we're on agreement with that one. We are. We really, really are. Like I said, Aaron Rodgers' first season, the Packers went 6-10. So I mean, unless if somehow, some way, like he comes out and is undefeated for the first 7 games, then holy shit, right? But I mean, that's really not going to happen. It's a little worrisome that the more reports you're reading out of Green Bay that Jordan Love looks the part. It kind of gut punches you a little bit because it's kind of like, oh shit, here we go again. So it has me a little bit worried for this upcoming game on Sunday. But I'm gonna post up the question right here on the chat. We're gonna highlight it real quick. Jose, if you do the honors, this is going to be simple as we reach into our tail end. Who do you have winning on Sunday? Our beloved Chicago Bears, Green Bay Packers, Jose.
Oh, I have the Bears. I have the Bears winning. Strictly because I'm a Bears fan and I want them to win. They better win.
But your money says
no. Even if I was betting out, I would bet on the Bears. John reposted something on Facebook earlier saying Bears are scared of Jordan Love. I don't want to say we're not scared of Jordan Love, but we are traumatized. We're traumatized of the Packers. We're traumatized of them always having a good quarterback.
It's more
terrorizing. It's trauma. Well, yeah, but we're only worried because of trauma. We're traumatized from Favre to Rodgers. You know what I mean? And we're hoping that it's not going to be now from Rodgers to Love. You know what I mean? Who just terrorizes this division and our hopes and dreams for the rest of our lives. I don't want to go my whole life, not seeing the Packers finally, suck. This needs to happen already. They need to feel what we've been feeling. They need to feel what we've been feeling, Eric. We're both 32. Our last 32 years of life, okay? They gotta feel it. They gotta feel it. So, I want to say the Bears win. I'm gonna pray to God the Bears win. And I'm gonna go in this game with a lot of optimism, but at the same time, a lot of realism as well.
Realism behind it.
I am. I mean, the Bears are still, an up and coming team that needs to get better. So I'm not going to expect a lot from them, but I am going to, hope that they're much better than last season for sure.
As we bring on our boy CP. Oh man, you just took him out. I put him on. What the?
Bro? Let me produce.
You produce. I'm sorry. I apologize. CP, I apologize for my producer over here doing the wrong things.
What do you mean? You're the one. You're not supposed to touch anything.
I mean, one producer, guys. One producer.
One producer. What's up, CP, man? How are you, bro?
What's good, man? Just been working nonstop, man. I see y'all ready. Y'all got y'all Bears gear on. Y'all ready for Sunday?
You already know.
As ready as I can be, my man. All right.
Also representing Mortal Kombat because that game just came out, and I'm a huge fan. But
all right, CP. Either justify this.
I was just getting y'all attention. That's all.
It's all good.
Rick says 24-21 Bears. Fields 2 touchdowns, Moore 1 receiving touchdown, Herbert 1 rushing. Hey, don't sleep on Roschon Johnson, man. If that man might just take over the running back position. That's all I'm saying.
All right, CP, what's your real prediction for the game on Sunday?
Hold on, and what was y'all 2 predictions again?
Well, I got the game mine.
Yeah, I got the Bears winning. I'm gonna say 17-10.
Okay, I can respect that. And Eric, what's your score?
17-14 Bears.
Okay, I can respect that. See, unlike John, who probably got something like 34-7 or something.
No, he got 38-3. He got
38-3.
I need people to understand that this is a rivalry game.
Right.
This will not be as easy as people think it will be because of how you're letting. I feel like all of my Bears fans are letting their excitement cloud their judgment a little bit, which is why I'm like nervous as hell. Even though the Bears are at home and it's exciting, you got Fields, you got Moore. You think that I saw some stuff in them preseason games I didn't like, bro. I'm not saying the Bears are going to lose, but I'm saying that game is going to be so close. It might not be as high in scoring as y'all think. I do got Bears, but by like a field goal or something, just because it'll be Jordan Love's first game, and who knows, maybe he'll be nervous. Hopefully he'll be nervous because, like you said, the past 2 decades dealing with Favre and Rodgers, like another decade of Jordan Love killing you would just be like, it'd just be too much, bro. At this point, it's like, damn, do we move to the other side or something? Damn.
For real.
But
I mean, I'm not surprised. I mean, that's a John's pick. That sounds like John.
And he's still at Thunder.
that definitely is John. But I got a score like y'all, something like 24-21, 2017. Like it won't be a shootout or nothing like that.
No,
don't sleep on that Packers defense, please. Don't. Don't think they're just going to be pushovers. And I hope like Jaquan Brisker, he been talking crazy. So I hope he gonna put some hits on Love. I think he gonna show up that Bears secondary, hopefully, because it'll be messed up if Jordan Love come in there and just cook them like that. So I got the Bears in a close one by like 3 points, by 20-17.
Well, CP, you're absolutely right. I mean, Jaquan Brisker was our leading sack person last year, so I hope he's ready to hit some more and be that sack leader that he was last season.
Who just said they hate the Packers?
Brisker.
It was Brisker that said that, right?
Yeah, he said that. He said he hates Green Bay, which rightfully so.
Yeah, they at home, bro. They gonna come in that game charged.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, man. And I'm building up my excitement. I'm building up this excitement because football is back, right? Football is here. The Bears are playing the Packers week 1. I'm excited, but also again, the Bears, my boy Caesar, Big C.
Brisker's not going to be a sack leader in this game somehow too. The man is a safety. How does that make sense?
I mean, he was like that the whole entire season last year too, as well.
Hey, Yannick Ngakoue, you signed him for a reason. Put him to work, man.
I hope so, man. I hope so. I mean, the Bears are getting healthy at the right time. Everybody's been participating. Obviously, the only person that's not going to be in this game so far is Tevin Jenkins, who's going to be gone for the next 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah, that hurts, man.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Big C says by a field goal, the Bears. I mean, look, this game is a lot closer than what we all think, man. This game, the last time I saw the Chicago Bears, they struggled on offense. And CP, we were at your draft. We were doing your draft at Buffalo Wild Wings, watching that game, and it looked pretty tough to watch, man. I mean, we paid attention here and there as we were making our picks, but even by watching it, it wasn't that pretty. It didn't look good at all.
No.
So it leads more to concern about what we see.
Yeah, well, hold on,
we're going to see,
guys. Again, it's the last time I'm going to say this, right? But last year I seen a lot of football because I had to, and I seen a lot of preseason as well. Let's not forget the Bears actually had a really good preseason last season, and look how that turned out. So let's not put too much. Let's not put too much into the preseason. But
was there really that much of a difference though? Because they look good on offense in the preseason and the season. I mean, it was all granted. It was all Fields, but like
right. Well, Cole Kmet was a dog in the preseason last year. He was getting touchdowns out there. I think the last one, like they had, like they were blowing it up. And I don't know. I'm just saying.
But also remember that he also ended the season last year on a high note of highest of high notes as one of the top tight ends in the league. Cracking into the top 10 in stat wise for all the NFL in his last 7-8 games of the season.
Yeah, but it took a while.
Exactly, it took a while. Now that we have a full offseason, now that Justin Fields is a shiny new toy, anything could happen at that point. But also at the same time, it's one of those reasons to be worrisome too as well. Because again, guys, we haven't won a game since October of last year. We're about to hit that 1-year mark since the last Bears win. And to be quite honest with you guys, there's a possibility, and a very good possibility that we might still wait another week or two, possibly even 3, for Bears to get a win because of the inconsistency that we've seen of the Chicago Bears in this offense this preseason and what we've been hearing throughout the whole entire offseason as well, that the offense just hasn't been clicking at the right spots. These TikTok videos, these YouTube videos, anything that they have, Twitter videos, about the good, there's a lot of bad behind that good, and it's just a little bit worrisome. But again, as a fan, I would never choose the Packers over the Bears, just to be honest. Even though how shit they are, I don't really give a damn.
No, I would if I knew how the Bears are going to look. But
yeah, no, same.
The main reason why I'm picking the Bears too is because I don't know how these two teams are going to look this first this season.
Yeah, so, same here.
I'm literally going by heart. You know what I mean? I'm going to pick the Bears because that's my team. But weeks. I don't know when they play the Packers again. I think it's like week 16 or 17.
The last game of the season.
Yeah, okay, last game of the season. I might be saying a different tune depending on what we see this year. But
we might be singing a different tune next week. Right before we play against who they got next week. It's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
True, Rick.
On a very tough road game in Tampa.
I hate the Bears.
No, I'll never hate the Bears. I'm never just because I picked the Broncos to win the AFC West doesn't mean I'm undercover Broncos fan.
Oh,
yeah, I went ballsy. I went ballsy. I honestly think that the Chiefs might take a step back this year.
I can't believe I missed that. I would have been. I would have been on you for that.
No, I mean, so way the Chief magic has to stop, right? And now with the news of Travis Kelce being gone for the next couple of weeks, hopefully he's gone for the Bears game too, which makes it somewhat a little bit easier.
I was just
Kansas City team.
I was just telling Paulina earlier. I was like, last year, I said the Chiefs are going to take a step back, and look what happened. So I'm like, I'm going back again this year, saying they're going to take a step back.
No, I didn't.
But, you know,
at least my prediction about the Kansas City Chiefs, I think I had them in the AFC Championship game. But that's how I had them, and I was I was right on the money with that one. But this year I have a completely different feeling about the Kansas City Chiefs, and I don't know why. But something about the Chiefs kind of like
people said the same thing when Tyreek Hill left. So hey,
no, well, my only concern about the Kansas City Chiefs in that aspect was who's going to step up. That was just my only concern. I thought Patrick Mahomes would do Patrick Mahomes things, and he did all season last year, and he always does. But I don't have that feeling last year, this year about the Kansas City Chiefs. Like every time I think about it, or I see the Kansas City Chiefs, like I just get this funny feeling about it. Like it's just not going to be their year this year. I just don't know why. I really don't.
I agree. That's because I want the Chargers.
It has to,
so, you know.
It has to be seen first. I mean, we can say all we want, but it has to be seen first. And I honestly do believe something. Yeah, I mean, hey, they can change my mind. I was just like, all right, maybe I messed up on this.
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
Right, but I mean, that's just me right now.
Y'all gonna see.
It's just coming from the Kansas City native, right? CP's over here, so like changed my mind.
Right, because he's been doing it for like 5-6 years now.
I understand
and it's like I don't know. People's never seen him learn. People never seen like it could be Kadarius Toney and Scott Moore this time. Like he's that good, Moore. Eric. He's that good.
I know. I am high on Sky Moore this year. I think I had him in. I have him in like, out of the 7, I think I have him like in 3 or 4 drafts or teams of mine. Sky Moore for sure. Kansas City wide receiver room is a weakness, but Mahomes is the type of quarterback to make anybody a productive wide receiver 100%. I mean, he made Juju have moments last year too as well.
You remember the playoff game against the Bengals? He had a guy who had more tackles than receptions. Scored the game-winning touchdown. Like
I hear you. No, I hear you 100%. I hear you 100%. But I mean, from Patrick Mahomes, from Super Bowl to AFC to Super Bowl to AFC Championship to another Super Bowl to another AFC Championship game to another Super Bowl. I like playing these long seasons does take an effect after a while, and I think this is probably the year that all that tread that they've been going on these runs the last couple of years will finally catch up to them this year.
Then catch up to Tom Brady.
Oh, I mean that's a whole nother conversation. That's another guy that we had to see later on in his career to do that. We're still in Patrick Mahomes' young career first. We're in his 20s, man. It's different. It's different. But there's nothing wrong with that. There's really nothing wrong with having a bad or not a setback for a year just for the Chiefs to like finally reset. And once the Chiefs finally reset after their step back, I think they're going to go on a tear for another 4, 5, 6 years. It has to. It's the NFL, CP. It's the NFL. I lost my thought where I was going with this. And now we went to the Kansas City boat. But yeah, man, it's just excited to see the Chicago Bears and Green Bay Packers week 1. We're excited to see football is back starting tomorrow. Kansas City Chiefs against the Detroit Lions. So my question to you and everybody watching and listening to us right now at the moment is, outside of the Bears-Packers, what other game are you excited to see week 1 of the NFL, CP? What game are you more intrigued to watch outside the Bears-Packers this week?
Well, I was excited about tomorrow, obviously. Like, I was even supposed to go watch. Yeah, it's now you got Travis Kelce down. You got like, damn, like how much can we? Because like Detroit scares me, bro. Like I know we can get some points scored on their defense, but oh my God, no Chris Jones. I feel like Jared Goff, even on the road, like I feel like he's going to cook that D line without Chris Jones there, and then Frank Clark is no longer there, no more Juan Thornhill. So it's like, damn, like. St. Brown, I just feel like St. Brown is going to have a field day. I feel like that rookie Gibbs could possibly have a field day, and it's just I'm nervous. So I don't feel the same way that I did. Obviously, the Packers and Bears should obviously highlight your the week. I gotta remember the schedule. I gotta look back at the schedule to see what
I
other
got you.
games is on there.
I have it right here. Panthers, Falcons, the Bengals, Browns, Colts, Jaguars, Tampa versus Minnesota, the Titans versus the Saints, the 49ers against the Steelers.
You know what? The Jets and Bills. That was the other game I was excited to see. Yeah, the Monday night game. That's another one I'm gonna be looking forward to. You know, seeing how Aaron Rodgers looks with that offense. You know,
that's good.
Finally giving those Jets fans some hope, because them Jets fans, I mean, it's probably not as bad, but they've been going through it too, just like Bears fans have. So
yeah, they sure have. They have a lot more hype. They have a lot more hype than we do, but I agree with that.
That's gonna be a hype ass game. So I'm definitely looking forward to that one. Tomorrow's game and the Bears and Packers for sure.
Jose, what game do you have in mind outside of the Bears Packers that you're excited to watch?
Outside of the Bears, obviously tomorrow's game is a big game because football's back, and both the Chiefs and the Lions have Chiefs being Chiefs winning the Super Bowl last year and the Lions having all this hype around them. But that's not the game I'm picking, Eric. The game that's just that was just me giving myself time so I can look at the schedules, because I too don't know much of the schedule. So that's just a radio pro doing his thing, trying to build time while I'm looking. But the Dolphins, Chargers, Eric, come on, Chargers, go Bolts. Dolphins, Chargers should be a high electric game, not no pun intended, because Chargers and the Bolts and everything. But
no, there was a pun intended.
I think that game should be really good. I'm excited to see it for sure.
Looks like Rick is going Eagles Patriots. He wants the Eagles to beat the Patriots so Bill Belichick could be on the hot seat after
that could be one of those boring, running down your throat games. One of those games where the Eagles win like 10-6 or something. I feel like it's gonna be a defensive game. Bill Belichick being the way that he is, but the Eagles defense against Mac Jones, like, are you really gonna see a lot of points put up in that game?
No, I hear you. Rick also says, Jose, that the Dolphins and Tua Tagovailoa are going to beat the Los Angeles Chargers.
I was going to say the Chargers are at home, but they don't really have a home, do they? So, I mean,
they share a home.
That sucks. That truly sucks. I do think Tua's probably gonna cook the Chargers. But hey, don't never sleep on Justin Herbert. Never.
No, definitely not. The one game I'm excited to see outside of the Bears Packers, to me, is actually the most interesting one, and that's in the AFC North between the Browns and the Bengals. There's a lot of coming out of Cleveland on how the season is going to portray for them and how good it's going to be for the Cleveland Browns in a very tough AFC North. And we might as well get a slobber knocker right then and there. If there's a game that's going to be on TV, my eyes and ears are going to be on that one before the Bears game at 3:30. Simply because, one, it's a division game. Two, it's what kind of Deshaun Watson we're going to see on the football field after a year coming back, whatever of his allegations that happened. So I am excited to see that one, just to see if the Browns are going to be competing for the AFC North against what is supposed to be the favorite, or is the favorite in the AFC North, and the Cincinnati Bengals. So that's why I'm going to see it. And
a lot of pressure on Watson for that game, bro. No more excuses. No more excuses. He got all the weapons. You got Amari Cooper. You got Donovan Peoples-Jones. You got a running game with Nick Chubb. You got a great defense. There's no reason why, if Deshaun Watson can't be his 2020 self, Cleveland should win that division. To be honest, they're good on both sides of the ball. So,
say with your chest, CP. Say with your chest.
No more excuses, Deshaun.
That's an interesting team to keep an eye on throughout the whole entire season, especially if they get off to a good start, for sure. He said the Chargers are going to lose.
Chargers are going to Charger.
They're going to Charger lose on a fumble or interception. That's what he said. Rick said a comment earlier before we end up the show. Rick did say a comment earlier. He said, "Will DJ Moore get back to 1,000-yard season this year?" And I think that has a lot to say about what the Bears are going to do this season.
I think so.
And what Justin Fields is going to produce. So you think he's going to have 1,000 yards?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah.
Jose, you think? Yeah, I think he's just gonna miss it. I honestly do believe he's just gonna miss it. I think he's gonna be flirting with that.
I think he gets it. I think he gets it. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, Eric. Go ahead.
No. I was just saying he's just gonna miss it. Like he's gonna be like in that 900, 950 kind of category.
I can see him getting it. I can see because didn't Allen Robinson do it with Mitch Trubisky? I think it was the first year that he got to 1,000 yards. I'm not mistaken. So if that I could definitely see DJ Moore hitting it for sure.
Yeah, 100%. Just because it looks like Fields has built such a relationship in the past few months with him. I just feel like he gonna be like one of Fields' favorite target, him along with Kmet. I mean, and that will free up, Claypool and Mooney for some looks, but right. I just think DJ Moore and Fields are gonna be like that this year. And I think they'll be able to reach it.
No, you're right, 100%. And he doesn't believe you. CP, Rick says you a troll. He says Cleveland CP has turned into a troll. I guess we have too much excitement for the Cleveland Browns.
It's all on Deshaun Watson. Am I wrong? Really Does he not have an O-line and a great D-line?
He has weapons. It all. He has a running game. He has everything, tight end, wide receiver. He has it all, defensive.
Imagine if Lamar Jackson or Joe Burrow had all that.
Woo! Man, we be talking about Super Bowl instead of MVP caliber, both maybe and all the above. So, no, you're absolutely right. I honestly do believe has him for the making there to compete for the AFC North. CP, what up? Your boy Johnny P. And then Mooney did it in 2021 with Dalton Fields. I think he's going to get it. I mean, yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, only time will tell, right? Only time will tell, guys.
I think mostly based on the Bears' schedule too. They play some pretty subpar defenses along their schedule, so it shouldn't be too hard. DJ Moore is going to cook a lot of those secondaries.
Oh yeah, I mean, if he does, I mean that only means the up and up for the Chicago Bears and this offense.
Fuck Mooney.
I mean, I don't know if you can say that. Mooney's been a very reliable wide receiver, bro. I don't know why Johnny P is just.
Mooney disrespect.
Mooney should be a lot better this season because remember last year he started looking good when Chase Claypool got there. Before that he was suspect. Then he got hurt. I think this year now with Claypool and DJ Moore, I can see Mooney being a lot better for sure.
Right, we tried to make Mooney a number one, and that's clearly not what he is.
That's not what he is. No,
he's too small to be a number one, bro. I'm sorry.
I don't like that comment. I don't like that comment at all. I don't like that comment at all.
Hey, but hold on. Brandon Marshall, Jay Cutler was a good duo though.
Denver.
They weren't bad here in Chicago. They weren't bad here in Chicago, Eric. They weren't bad here in Chicago.
I mean,
they're all right, but that's not the standard we want to aim for.
That's definitely not.
That was more. Look, the first year when they were good, Cutler was hurt. Josh McCown did his thing. The year after, it was more coaching. We knew that. Mark Trestman wasn't that guy, and that's the reason why it didn't pan out the way it's supposed to. But Eric wasn't a Bears fan back. That's true. Eric wasn't.
What was he?
Right. What was I then?
Not a Bears fan.
I mean,
Eric is a realist. They don't like you, Eric, because you a realist. That's all.
Exactly. I mean,
I'm more real than him. Last year he had the Bears win 11 games. I don't want to hear that.
I was trying to let that go, Jose.
No, we're not doing that.
But whatever the case may be, but I mean, I'm not the only. I mean, I don't wear other teams' apparel.
He wanted. Hold on. He wanted Ryan Pace and Mitch Trubisky. No, he wanted Ryan Pace.
Rocking a Dodgers jersey while
he wanted Pace, Nagy. Hold on.
I'm not wearing a fucking Sox hoodie when claiming a Cubs fan over here. I represent my team through and fucking through, no matter what it is.
Eric,
I don't know what the hell y'all talking about. I'm not a real Bears fan. Hey, I don't want to hear it. Everything that's coming out of your mouth right now is a bunch of malarkey. A bunch of fucking malarkey out of.
If that's the case, why weren't you on the Mitch Trubisky bandwagon? If you're such a Bears fan, you should have been behind him since day one.
No,
he was right about it though, wasn't he?
Deshaun Watson was right there. Deshaun Watson was there for the taking. No, I don't care about whatever y'all want.
Forget Deshaun Watson. Patrick Mahomes is there for the taking.
No. I promise you guys, and I'll tell you, in every podcast that this brings up and everything like that, I will die on this hill saying that Deshaun Watson should have been the Chicago Bear. and that whole 2018 team would have been a whole.
I thought that's who they traded up for.
I thought so
if
too,
Deshaun Watson was the Chicago Bear, he would have definitely been suspended because there's a lot of massage parlors in Chicago. Bro, I'm sorry. He would not be playing.
The Chicago women would have fought him back, bro.
Bro, I'm telling you, right? He would have been done. There would have been a video of him getting knocked out or him knocking somebody out. I don't want to hear it.
He would have been getting knocked out.
Right.
He would have been backing his ass up like crazy, though, bro. You can't say in Texas. I don't want to say it, but Texas is Texas, and y'all know what, you know.
Hey, I've been to Houston, bro. I've been to Houston. It's a lot different. They built different than Chicago people. That's
I am telling you right now, Chicago would have defended Deshaun Watson back and back. And that's why I will say I will die on this hill.
We would have had his back.
Whatever. I'm telling you, I would die on this hill, bro. Deshaun Watson should have been the Chicago Bears. Yes, Patrick Mahomes was there for the taking, but we would have not seen the same Patrick Mahomes in Chicago that we do right now in Kansas City. Definitely.
Andy Reid. What would you write? Andy Reid or Mark Trent?
And he set back for a whole entire year, by the way. Remember, he didn't play his rookie year. It was Alex Smith. So he learned a lot behind that and did everything.
Remember, that was John Fox. Mitch Trubisky's first year was John Fox.
I get that 100%. I get that 100%. But I think a Deshaun Watson and John Fox, that's a ready-made quarterback coming out of college that went to 2 national championships, won one, beat Alabama on top of that for a national championship too as well. Come on now, guys. It was a no-brainer. Deshaun Watson was the clear-cut number one.
Bears don't do. I mean, it took until now to do the no-brainer thing. So let's just harp on that.
You know what I forgot? 2015 was Matt Barkley was the starting quarterback. Can you believe that? We had Matt Barkley between Jay Cutler and Mitch Trubisky. It was Matt fucking Barkley, bro. I totally forgot about that season. I don't even remember who the fuck was on that team, bro. I don't even remember.
That season wasn't worth remembering.
It really wasn't. 2016. I'm sorry, 2016, because 15 was Cutler's last year.
Hey, look, 2016. All I remember was the Cubs going to the World Series, winning, bro. That's all I remember.
Everything else was out the window.
A blur.
Everything else was out the window. For real.
It is what it is. Remember, guys, Big League Chicago comes back on Monday to recap you the Bears games and everything else Chicago from the weekend prior. So make sure you tune in on Mondays on the Star 6 Media production page on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and also on TikTok.
So is it doing Mondays or Wednesdays?
No, so we're doing Big League Chicago on Mondays, the Jca Sports Podcast on Wednesdays. We're gonna go back again. We're gonna give it a little bit off. We're gonna talk about week 1, and then on JCA we're gonna preview week 2. So that's what we're going to do from here on out. Football season is back.
Because 2 days seem like a lot to review the Bears game. Like you gotta be interested.
1 day to review, and then all you need is 1 day to preview. That's all it is. That's all we need to do. Thank you to CP, obviously, for joining us and being on the comments. Thank you to John for on the comments, Rick on the comments, Caesar on the comments, and everybody else that's been watching, liking, and following us. Make sure you guys follow us on all our social media platforms on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, under the John Konavi, and also the Star 6 Media Productions. Bear down, baby. Football is back.
Yes, sir.
No real football this weekend for me, so my mind and heart is going to be on the Bears this weekend, international break. So I am going to be watching the Bears with a keen eye.
Can you not talk about soccer for once?
I gotta bring it up.
It's his passion, bro.
It's my passion, bro. Man. Trust me.
Let him speak on it.
Go Liverpool, man. Go Liverpool.
We're all tied for second place between you and your team and my team, so it's all good, bro. I really don't give a damn. It's too early in the season, bro. I don't give a shit.
Bro. Y'all got lucky last week.
I don't even want to get with that. The Jca Sports Podcast is here. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for tuning in. Go Bears. Hopefully the Bears win 17-14 for me. The Bears winning on Monday.
Chiefs.
We are going 1-0. Enjoy your football tomorrow. Good luck week 1 on your fantasy football teams. And as always, Jose, hit that outro. See you guys next week.